You know, I always seem to forget that this was the episode where Doctor Who met Spider-Man. It's really weird to think about that. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, I am a geek and you are watching Kevin the Geek. And it is time for Doctor Who Wednesdays for my New Who Doctor Who review. This is season 3, the first two-parter story featuring the Daleks. If you are new to the channel, please hit that like button, hit the subscribes, and make sure you turn on notifications. And please also drop comments down below letting me know your thoughts on this episode. Now, I feel that this episode is unfairly hated by a lot of people. And I'm going to start with Dalek Sec, the human-Dalek hybrid of this episode. Now, I think the first thing I want to point out is I love the design of this human-Dalek hybrid. It's a really interesting look, and if you think back to the mythology of the Daleks and how they became to be, they were originally humanoid. You had the two races on the planet Skaro. You had the Kaleds and the Thals, or Thals, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But they were humanoid. They pretty much looked like humans. So it's not beyond the stretch of imagination to say that you are combining a actual human with the mutated form that is now a Dalek, and it doesn't look like a human. It has a humanoid shape, it has a head, it has 2 arms, 2 legs, but because it's mixed with this mutated DNA of what was originally the Kaleds, it makes sense that it does look humanoid, but still retains the sort of mutated kind of appearance to it, with the sort of the tentacles coming off the head and the singular eye to it, and to an extent the exposed brain. And I really liked the theory that they're going with in this story. The fact that up to this point, the 3 episodes which have featured the Daleks since the revival, it's always pretty much showed the Daleks as ruthless killing machines. They're there to conquer the universe. They want to destroy and kill everything it can. But here, it shows them being smart. It shows them thinking. And of course, this was set up in the Series 2 finale in Doomsday, that these were kind of Daleks created to think outside the box, to think about different things. And I don't think that they really did that as much realistically in Doomsday. They did a little bit, thinking, oh, let's try and think how the enemy thinks. Let's steal the Time Lord technology, which is this prison containing all these Daleks. But other than that, they pretty much acted how Daleks act. And so here, it is something really different. They're trying to think, we are the last Daleks in existence, and so ultimately, we need to find a way to survive. And yes, okay, in Doomsday they said, to the Cybermen, there's so many of you, we only need 1 Dalek to kill, a couple of million Cybermen. But they still need more Daleks. And so, it's a really interesting concept. And I don't think that this episode has really been given the credit that it deserves, personally. Now, I do like that Martha has quite a bit, substantially more to do in this episode. It's showing her going out and, trying to do her own thing and kind of help people. Partially, obviously, in the second part of the two-parter, because the Doctor kind of technically gets kidnapped, so she's forced to go off and do her own thing. And so I think it means that she's just got more to do here compared to the 2 previous episodes, with the Shakespeare episode and the Gridlock episode. You know, here she's more like the Martha that we see in the season opener, and I'm down for that. Because I think Martha's a very capable companion, and this point it's been a bit hit and miss how much she's really been able to do. The Doctor is really on top form in this episode. The one criticism is I would say to an extent that he's got really angry. You know, the bit when he first sees the Daleks and realises it's the Daleks, he's quite angry. Kind of similar to Christopher Eccleston in Dalek in season 1. But David Tennant didn't quite act in the same way when he saw them in Doomsday. And it just felt a little bit off there, that he didn't quite, you know, it wasn't quite consistent enough for me in that regard. But the stuff he did was great. And the thing I'm still, to this point, I'm still not sure on is the whole idea that he wanted to save Dalek Khan right at the end of the episode. Yes, you know, he's saying that I don't want to commit genocide. But when you compare it to the line, again, when he first sees the Daleks in this episode, when he goes,
"They survive. They always survive when I lose everything."
It's just something that doesn't quite fit, I think, with that early introduction with it, and then, you know, right towards the end. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was really good. He was on really top form. But, yeah, a little bit inconsistent. Now, your supporting cast. Of course, I have to talk first of all, Andrew Garfield, who later turned out to be playing Spider-Man. It really shows that he's in his early kind of years as an actor. He did a reasonably good job. I'm not convinced with the accent. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am British, so I'm not the best at doing accents by any means. I think I can do a reasonable American accent to a point. Apologies to any Americans that may have just been offended by that. But yeah, obviously Andrew Garfield's gone for a real broad kind of southern, kind of Texas, Albuquerque kind of accent, and it felt at times a little bit like a caricature to a small extent. I'm not going to lie, but he did, you know, a reasonable job in what he was being asked to do. Tallulah as a character just freaking annoys me, you know, and the more I watch it, the more she annoys me. And unfortunately, I think compared to like Donna in The Runaway Bride, which I did a reaction for not too long ago, it was a situation that being in her one episode, she did kind of grow on you. She was a bit annoying and a bit shouty, but yeah, she did kind of eventually grow on you. I think it didn't help that you saw Tallulah across 2 episodes, because it just wore on and wore on and wore on how grating and annoying she was. So yeah, not the greatest there. But the person I do have to give the utmost credit to is the character of Solomon.
But surely it's got to give me hope. Hope that maybe together we can make a better tomorrow.
Wonderful writing for him. Beautifully portrayed. A really, really strong performance. And so, of course, when I do my scores, you know, when I do it for the sporting cast, I've got to take all of that into consideration for the overall score. I mean, Solomon would get definitely a 10 out of 10. Tallulah is going to be right on the bottom end of it. So I'll have to balance that. I love the music in this, and I love the fact that they went with a true sort of 20s and 30s feel of music, but then also sort of worked it into the plot, you know, with the kind of showgirl review, and even the bit where the Doctor, you know, talks about the radio and how, you know, to Daleks it's just noise. You know, that was very cleverly done. And I really liked the song that they used in it. You know, You Put the Devil in Me. Very lovely song. Definitely felt period. So kudos to Murray Gold for writing that piece of music. Special effects and the set, I'll kind of combine a little bit here, because I'll tell you what, they never actually went or technically filmed in America, the actual cast. You know, even a bit like below the Statue of Liberty and in Hooverville, the main two kind of points, they were filmed in Wales. They found a random brick wall that kind of looked similar-ish to the bottom of the Empire State Building, and they found a park that they could feasibly pass off to be Central Park. Yes, they had the behind-the-scenes team who went out and did like principal photography, you know, to get, you know, actual shots of it so they could superimpose the actors in front of it with green screen effects and things like that, which it was a little bit hit and miss. You know, there were some brilliant shots and then some that it was very clear they were standing in front of a green screen, you know, with the kind of like the New York skyline in the background. But it looked good. It honestly felt like you were actually in New York. And until I saw the behind the scenes kind of footage, I never questioned it. And then equally, I have to say, with the costumes, you know, I love the historical pieces because they always go into such great detail and make it feel part of the set and everything. Oh, I absolutely loved it. So overall, it was, for me, it's a better episode than what most people remember. You know, I love the idea of the Daleks trying to think a little bit more scientifically and kind of come up with some different things. Because if you just go, every time you see the Daleks, it's just, let's kill, exterminate, exterminate. It gets very boring quite quickly. Here they did something different, and I appreciate that with the Daleks. But, of course, I need to score the episode. So if you are new to my channel, the way I score my Doctor Who videos is I give 10 categories a score out of 10 to give an overall score out of 100, which means I can use that when it comes to ranking the episodes. So let's see today's scores. And there you have it. So, Daleks in Manhattan and the Evolution of the Daleks has scored in total 75 marks out of 100, which means it is a B-rated episode. And thus far, it's the highest ranked episode of Season 3. What are your thoughts? Drop your comments down below. Make sure you go back and check out my Torchwood Tuesday videos, my Doctor Who Wednesday videos, and even my Ted Lasso videos, and a bunch of other stuff on the channel. There's lots of playlists. But until next time, my name's Kevin, I am a geek, and you have been watching Kevin the Geek. Goodbye.